Hold on one second. My dog is eating a roll of tape. And our background producers of the show cannot get my dog. He keeps running away. So we have a mission on our hands. I think Ralphie next year should join the Fanatics games because he is one athletic dog. But Sam cannot get it out of his mouth. Hold on one second. I might need to come in for some help. Now let's get into the chillest dude of the week, brought to you by our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/dudes. And remember, celebrate responsibly. Oh, wow. There's a Coors Light handed me just like that. Here we go. Ooh, that sounded nice. That was refreshing.
Cheers.
Coors Light. Cold as the Rockies. Cheers, my friends.
Cheers. Let's hit the hotline again. That number is 561-203-5789. 561-203-5789. Let's get into it.
Come on, Kyler. Let's get into it. Julian's not here today, so this show is all about me. I'm hitting the hotline. This is my favorite part of Dudes on Dudes. Is not talking about other dudes, but hanging out with dudes that call in and answering other dudes' random questions that are always absurd. This is when I strive as well. So, Kyler, hit that play button. Let's hear the first question presented by Coors Light.
Hey guys, I was wondering if you guys ever had any favorite practice squad players. I know a lot of people are coming in and off the practice squad each year. I was wondering if any of you guys had any favorite guys off the practice squad. Thank you.
This is an easy question. My favorite guy on the practice squad, his name was Ross Ventrone. Rusty Benson was his nickname. That's why I was about to call him Russ Ventrone. But Rusty Benson, he been cut and brought back on the roster more times than anyone in a single year, that he even had an article written about him in Sports Illustrated by, I'm pretty sure, the legendary writer Peter King. And Ross Ventrone just, didn't have that record, but he made me the player that I was, at the beginning of my career, especially my second year in the league when I broke every single record. I went versus him on a daily basis. He gave me a great look on the practice squad. Yes, I was physically way bigger than him, but his heart was just as big as anyone else's. And he gave me a look, and he never backed down to get physical with me, to give me that look, to slow me down. So every single Sunday during that second year, in the league, I was prepared for that game, and I dominated on a daily basis. And Ross Ventrone helped get me to that level. And not just that, there's a third thing that was great about him, is that he was a poet. And he stood up in front of our classroom and he wrote poems and he presented them in front of the team. So we appreciate everything that he did for the Patriots while he was there, especially when he broke the record for most transactions in a year. It was just legendary. Him and Coach Belichick had a wonderful relationship.
2011, he had 15 transactions with the Patriots. And then throughout his career with the Patriots, he had 31 total transactions.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Well, shout out Ross, product of Villanova.
Told you he's a legend, a transaction legend. He's a transaction. Oh, a lot of NBA players know about transactions. Yeah. He beats them all. He beats them all.
I just wanted to know, what, in your opinion, is the best college that allows football players to be fed into the NFL?
I mean, obviously, I'm going with the University of Arizona. I mean, they produce myself, Antoine Cason, and Earl Mitchell, my brother Chris Gronkowski at fullback position, and just so many others as well. Nick Foles, but
Lance Briggs. Teddy
Bruschi. I mean, there's so many others as well that
McMillan and the rookie.
There we go. Yeah.
Marquise Flowers,
the rookie, a top 10 pick this year, to the Carolina Panthers. Now, that's just a decent program. We got a lot of NFL guys that their University of Arizona produces, but it's definitely not a powerhouse like these others. Like, you got Notre Dame. They have like a billion guys in the NFL, but I would say the biggest powerhouse, it's hard for me to be able to decipher the best one out there, because you have to kind of be a part of it. But from looking on the outside and interacting with the players in the NFL that went to these college, I would have to say that Florida produced at a high rate, was one of the best colleges, to produce and develop a player and get to the NFL at beginning of my NFL career. I'd probably say from 2010 to 2014, 15. And then Alabama took that over. And Alabama has probably been the best program to produce and develop a player from high school throughout college, and then shoot them into the NFL. And not just a few guys, we're talking a ton of guys.
Now, do you think that that's going to change with the Saban era ending and maybe some of the other programs, Ohio State, or do you think with NIL and guys moving around that you might lose a little bit of that consolidation of like a NFL factory of these big time college programs?
There'll be a few powerhouses that stay powerhouses. Maybe like Alabama will always be a powerhouse with producing NFL talent and just producing a great college program. Maybe not to the extent that it was from like 2015 to like 2022. Like that was just a ridiculous era, but they're always going to be producing guys. I'm sure like every 5 years, it's going to switch to a different program. Like Ohio State right now is probably the program for the last year to be producing talent and then bringing them to the NFL. So, and then with the NIL, I would say that the lesser programs, like the MAC programs, Conference USA, they're actually going to produce less now. They already had guys, maybe one guy on their roster would go to the NFL. Well, that one guy now is going to get grabbed by these bigger schools, and get paid by these bigger schools. And then, they would go to the NFL from there. So that's who gets most affected, that I feel like that I see, getting affected by it. So the powerhouses will always produce because they got the money to bring in the best guys. But these little tiny schools, like they're going to be hurting with talent because they're going to get scooped right up and paid by the big dogs.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, here's another one.
Hey, Gronk, saw you recently dropped that new Built collection of underwear. Saw the pictures on Instagram and got to say the piece was looking big. Was that all natural or digitally enhanced? Thank you.
Oh man, this guy must have a hammer, and his name must be Jack if he's asking this question. Like it just makes
Jack,
sense,
right?
Yeah, that's definitely a guy named Jack, a random Jack out there. But he's got to have a hammer if he's checking out my hammer. But let me tell you, it was natural and digitally enhanced. I mean, to be able to look that good, you have to be natural, but you also need the lighting that comes into play. You also need a great angle. You also need a great cameraman to get that angle as well with a great
team
screen.
Effort.
Yeah, so it was just a team effort overall. And that Built underwear collection is just popping. I actually just got 16 new pairs of underwear delivered to me yesterday as we speak. And guess what? I'm going on vacation in all July. I'll be out of country, and I'm bringing those 16 pairs of underwear, and I'm going to do my own separate photo shoot because the colors are just like the pastel colors that look just fantastic and make your tan pop. So I'm going to be using them as a bathing suit. So check out my Instagram stories throughout July because I'm going to be posting some pictures, and I'm going to digitally enhance that package as well to make it look like I have a Subway footlong.
Were you going on vacation? Anywhere fun?
I'm not telling you. I'll tell you after. I don't tell people where I'm going. But after it's done, then I let everyone know where I was. But I'll be somewhere in this world, Kyler. I'll be somewhere in this world.
Do you guys believe in curses? Obviously, coming from Boston, 04 Red Sox. I'm a Falcon fan, so I'm asking 28-3 from your perspective. And if not, or if so, can Michael Penix be the one that breaks the curse?
All right, Kyler, can you get me up to date on the 04 Red Sox, please, with the curse? Wasn't that the year that they were down like 3-0 and then they came back and beat the Yankees, correct?
Yeah, they were down 3-0 in the ALCS, and then they came back one game 4 and over in extra innings, and then won 4 in a row, and then beat and swept the Cardinals. And then won, I think, 3 since, or 2 past.
No, yeah, they beat the Yankees. They came back when they were down 3-0 versus.
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy kind of threw me off. He's like, "Do you believe in curses?" And he's like, "I'm obviously coming from Boston with the 04 Red Sox." And it's like the Red Sox were cursed, but no, the Red Sox did the cursing.
So the curse was, but prior to that, I think Babe Ruth was traded or sold to the Yankees, I think 1917 or whatever. That was the last time they won a World Series. And then he went to the Yankees, and it was the curse of the Bambino for almost 100 years that was then broken in 04. And that was them breaking the curse, as Boston lore goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was like 86 years or something that they hadn't won a World Series.
Okay, I see. Hold on one second. My dog is eating a roll of tape. And our background producers of the show cannot get my dog. He keeps running away. So we have a mission on our hands. I think Ralphie next year should join the Fanatics games because he is one athletic dog. But Sam cannot get it out of his mouth. Hold on one second. I might need to come in for some help.
Go do your thing. And I'm just going to give more info about the Red Sox curse that most of our Boston listeners know. But 1986, they also lost the World Series to the Mets with the famous Bill Buckner, error. And they haven't won since 1918.
No tape, dude. No tape. All right. We're back. Sorry. My dog was eating a roll of tape. All right. We're back to the curses. We didn't need my dog to get cursed and swallow some tape and have a taped up butthole and not be able to poop and be cursed with diarrhea in his stomach for 5 days. That would be no good. So we're back. But no, I don't believe in curses, really. I truly think the better team won each time as well. The Red Sox were a better team. They came back and dominated, and they swept the Cardinals actually in the World Series as well, just to show their greatness. But that Falcons game, it's talked about all the time. And I was on the sidelines for this game, but I'm telling you right now, we were dominating the whole game. There was just a couple plays that didn't go our way in the first half. The pick six interception. We were driving down the field. We just couldn't put points up on the board. If you look in the stat sheet, we were dominating them in the first half. And Coach Belichick even mentioned that in the second half. Like, hey, let's just stick to our game. But we just can't make any mistakes. And we just got to dominate when we need to dominate and make the plays when we need to make the plays. And that's exactly what happened. We stuck to the game plan. And this time they gave up. We were in better shape than them. We had like 100 or so plays on the offense side of the ball. Their defense was tired. I'm telling you, the better team won that day. It was just a terrible, terrible first half. So I don't truly believe in curses, especially for the reason what I just gave you is that we were the better team when we played the Atlanta Falcons.
Now, you grew up in Buffalo in the 90s. Like, is that team cursed? Buffalo's never won a Super Bowl? Or Cubs were, cursed the Billy Goat for a while? Or you just think it's all horseshit?
No, that's true. The Buffalo curse may be true because I missed a field goal, right? Wide right or wide left. And then when I was doing the FanDuel Kick of Destiny and I was live, I missed a field goal wide left as well. So it's just a curse of the kickers, coming out of Buffalo, and or playing in Buffalo. So the resemblance right there is true. That's the only thing that's a true curse is the Buffalo Bills right now. They just can't get a Super Bowl win, even though they get super close every single year.
Do you want to do one more?
Yeah, one more, baby.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, Jules and Gronk. It's Eric from Yucaipa, California. So do you guys have any plans for more fan events, specifically here on the West Coast or really anywhere? I'll travel to see you guys. But I'm here on the West Coast, so that'd be cool. And also, where can I get some merchandise? I had a JE11 hat back in the day that somehow, unfortunately, got lost at some point. So anything like with games with names or dudes on dudes merch or JE11 and Gronk stuff, I want to show my support and rep you guys on your shows. Anyway, love you both. Be blessed.
Well, Eric from Yucaipa, is that how you say it, Kyler?
I have no Yucaipa. I don't know. Yeah.
California. Only Jules will know where that is because he's a California boy. But
He'll
unfortunately,
know where it is, but not know how to pronounce it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he definitely wouldn't know how to pronounce it. And I definitely don't know how either. And if I'm getting it right, well, then thank you, God. That's the first name or place I've been able to say right. That's a difficult word. So thank you if I did. Yucaipa, it's our little word together, Kyler. But Julian would know where that is, but he's out there in California somewhere searching for that, not acting like a squirrel, and that's why he's not in the show. But Eric, that's funny that you just asked that question because at the beginning of the show, we were talking about how we were just at Fanatics Fest, interacting with fans, having our first ever live Dudes on Dudes show. And let me tell you something, Eric, we're having our first ever live Dudes on Dudes show, August 28th. I was just talking about it at the beginning of the show. It's going to be at the MGM Grand Music Center, at Fenway Park, August 28th. So, Eric, hopefully you can fly in, get your tickets July 11th, starting at 10 a.m. And hurry up, Eric, get them fast because it's going to be sold out. And that's where you can interact with us. We'll be signing autographs on stage, answering fans' questions as well. It's going to be a blast. It's exactly what you're looking for, Eric. And on top of it, the merchandise is fire. You're right. Julian Edelman, the Squirrel, has been putting out merchandise for over a decade now, and it's all super fine. It's legit. It's top of the top. And we'll be selling merchandise at the live show of Dudes on Dudes. And Kyler, I'm sure we can get some merchandise, somewhere else. Can you tell us where, Kyler?
Well, TBD, we've been working on a shop for a while. It's coming out soon. The best place to get merchandise will be at the live show. And maybe we'll do some giveaways in between then. And then also, Eric, why don't you DM the Dudes on Dudes Instagram? I'll answer that for you. I have a closet full of old JE11 shit from the last decade. I was thinking about dropping it off at Goodwill. Maybe I'll bring it to the live show and toss it to some people. So, Eric, DM me. Tell me what hat you had. I'll see if I got some old stuff. Maybe I'll, get some stuff at the live show. But yeah, Rob, you hit it. We're going to be in Boston, going to be with the fans August 28th, MGM Music Hall at Fenway. Tickets are on sale July 11th at 10 a.m. Go to Ticketmaster.com. There'll be a link on our YouTube. There'll be links in descriptions and in our bio and our Hoobie, just pretty much everywhere our stories. Look out for us. The show's going to be called Gronk and Jules Present Welcome to the Nut House. It's going to be games with names, Dudes on Dudes, special guests, fun shit, interactions, fan questions, a whole thing. It's going to be rad. So we'll see you guys there. It's going to be, get your tickets because I think it's going to move fast.
You want to know what I'm looking forward to, Kyler, is the special guest, because I don't even know who the special guest is going to be yet. So I'm looking forward to the show because I want to be surprised and I want to be, all joyful with who the special guest is going to be. And I'm sure it's going to be a true special guest, especially being our first live show up in the Boston area. We can't go, with no slouch. We got to go with a top dog, and I'm sure that we're going to. So I can't wait to hear on the side when you guys finally want to tell me, Kyler, who it's going to be.
Well, shit, we might need you to DM some people and get some big names.
Oh, you're going to need me? You're going to need me? See, that's why I brought it up. I was just making sure, that you had someone in mind. But if you're going to need my help, let me know. I'll definitely try and get it done.
We've got some interesting names cooking, and we'll be in Boston that week before shooting a bunch of cool content with Dunkin' Donuts and just a bunch of awesome shit. So, going to be a fun time in Boston in August, and we can't wait to see you guys get your tickets.
And what's really cool about that as well, too, having that live show on August 28th, is that we're going to get a good feel of the New England Patriots. Obviously, we're going to be in Boston, so a lot of Patriot fans are going to be there. There'll probably be 95% of Patriot fans, and they'll be about a month into training camp, so we can talk about where the New England Patriots are at, what we see with what's cooking with them, what their weaknesses are, what they got to do to improve going into the season in about 2 weeks. So that'll be very interesting. That'll be some great talks as well, because I'm sure the fans will want to hear our opinion on what the state of the New England Patriots are a month into training camp and about a week or two away from the first game. So that's going to be special right there as well. And I'm sure Julian, he loves going to Patriot, practices and training camp. So I'm sure he's going to get a live perspective up front and up and close and personal with the players, because he's going to be at the practices. I doubt that you're going to catch me there. That's why I sent Julian. He's the scout for Dudes on Dudes. So he'll be there and he'll be able to give a glimpse of what's going on inside the huddle, with our live show August 28th at MGM Music Hall at Fenway. Let's go. And that was the chillest dude of the week. Thanks to our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/dudes and celebrate responsibly.